want to create a still image from a video clip, the name of Final Cut Pro's freeze frame tells you exactly what to expect. However, freeze frame is only part of the solution. You may have heard of the hold feature before and assumed it does the same thing as a freeze frame. Well, it's similar, but not quite the same. So which is best to use? I'll show you the differences in this video and give you my reasons as to which feature is best to use. My name's Bruce, and if we've met before, welcome back. Otherwise, please like and subscribe and press the bell so I can make more videos for you. And the first to note is that the keyboard shortcut for freeze frame is Option plus F, and it can be accessed from the Edit menu. Freeze frame creates a separate still image of just one video frame. It's just like a still photo, and it's got the characteristics of a still photo, like shortening and lengthening, and trimming with the option left or right brackets. The length is controlled by the still frame duration in the preference settings, and that's under the Edit tab. Freeze frames can be actioned from both the source media in the browser or from the timeline. When you select freeze frame from the browser, that still image is added to the timeline at the position of the playhead as a connected clip, and that's above the magnetic timeline. To add a freeze frame to the timeline, position the playhead and press Option plus F. The still image appears after the frame that you asked to be a freeze frame. The rest of the video continues after the duration of that still image in the timeline. I'll explain in a minute the advantages and the disadvantages of the freeze frame. The hold feature can only be used in the timeline, so it's not available in the browser. And the length of the hold is also controlled by those same preferences as the freeze frame. The shortcut for hold is Shift plus H. Now to see the differences. The hold frame remains part of the original clip. There's just no motion in it, so any effects that were on that original clip can still be adjusted, just like this cartoon effect. If I add this effect to the clip, all the video and the held portion are affected. If I add a freeze frame in the timeline and add the effect to it, it only applies to the freeze frame or to the video, whichever you put it on, and that applies even if you select them all. If a freeze frame is used, then any effects that were already added to that clip before the freeze frame was made, they're permanent and can't be adjusted. I'll add the effect before I create a freeze frame, and the freeze frame shows that effect, but it's baked in and it doesn't show in the inspector for adjustment. Of course, this means that any effect that you do add to a freeze frame only affects the freeze frame and not the original clip, which is the only real advantage of a freeze frame over a hold. From here on, it's all advantages for hold. 1. You can adjust the endpoint of the hold. A freeze frame endpoint, it's fixed, and the complete freeze frame would need to be redone if you wanted to change it. I've set a hold by pressing Shift plus H. Double-click the dividing point, select Edit, an icon appears. It can be dragged left or right to change the frame that's being held. If you'd used a freeze frame, you'd have to redo the point where you want the still frame to be instigated from, time and again, until you get the correct point, rather than being able to drag it into a position. And the next advantage of hold is you can create a speed ramp transition. That's from the full speed of the video to a still image. And that can be at both the in point and at the out point. Double-click on the dividing point as before and select Speed Transition. And I've got a video that discusses more details about speed ramps. And to view that, and watch out for future videos of other tips for Final Cut Pro. Please like, subscribe and press the bell. And let me know in the comments below if you've got some areas that you struggle with in Final Cut. I'd be very happy to produce a video to help you solve those issues. Thanks for watching.